Okay, so today is my first day at JetBrains. I'm very excited. I'm not sure what to expect of these first days, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm waiting for my colleague to log in on Slack right now. I did set up all my account stuff, and so yeah, it's a matter of waiting a couple of minutes now. So yeah, that was me 1 week ago. Let's talk about how that first week at JetBrains in the PhpStorm team actually went. So I didn't really know what to expect from my first week. This isn't my first time switching jobs, and I knew from prior experience that the first week is always a little different than the real job. There are lots of meetings, getting to know people, the tools, and the company culture. And I must admit, I was a little worried up front about JetBrains being a much larger company than the ones that I previously worked for. And I wondered whether that would impact the company culture. But actually, I felt right at home. There's very little hierarchy, and I had many casual conversations with the PhpStorm team lead, my manager. And it doesn't feel like I'm just a number amongst hundreds of employees. In fact, everyone keeps telling me how excited they are about me joining the team, and I really appreciate that. That's very nice, and it makes me feel right at home. Speaking of home, I am working from home full-time. It's a 100% remote job. And I did have a couple of people ask me about that. How will I manage? Won't I miss the social interaction and stuff like that? Now, I'm going to do a whole other video about remote work, but I did want to mention that I managed just fine. I'm saving lots of time, and I already was kind of used to a work from home schedule because of COVID lockdowns over the past 2 years. And Tuesday is when I got to meet with Roman. He's my direct colleague, and I actually already knew him for years. We're going to work together on lots of different content-related projects. And our meeting Tuesday was mostly about the upcoming PhpStorm release. That's my first task for the coming 2 weeks. Creating some content about what's new in 2022.1, and I'm also going to make a what's new video for it. So Tuesday I was immediately very excited. I can work on stuff that I know I like doing because I have been doing these kinds of things on my personal blog for years now. And that's what I keep telling people about my new job. It's what I have been doing as a hobby for years. And so it's really great now being able to do it as my actual job. Throughout Wednesday, I worked on the release blog post, but there also was the weekly team meeting where I got to meet the whole team. The PhpStorm team is very much used to remote work, by the way. People are spread across several offices or work from home, so it's nice that they don't need to change their process just because I've started working in a team now. The team meeting itself was really casual. We discussed several internal company things. I got to introduce myself, and I asked them if I could record the meeting for this video. And I remember Kirill saying, and Kirill is the PhpStorm team lead, by the way, this is our life from now on. And I really appreciate all of my colleagues to participate. It makes for this nice mood shot. Speaking of video, I will create more and more video content in the future for PhpStorm as well. And I notice how I'm starting to think in terms of scenes and composition and sound design all throughout my day. Now, I told you before in one of my previous vlogs that I'm getting a lot of creative energy out of these videos. And I really like that zone right now. Thursday and Friday went a little different than expected. Not because of the job, but because both of my kids getting sick and I couldn't work as much and as concentrated as I wanted to. In fact, my 10-month-old son, he didn't sleep for a good portion of the night between Thursday and Friday, and I felt rather tired on Friday. And I told Kirill how this felt a little bit like a false start because I didn't get to finish the tasks I wanted to, and specifically the release blog post. Now, to be clear, I wasn't working on a deadline this week, but I was just hoping to be finished by Friday, and unfortunately that didn't work out. But I really appreciated the support I got from Kirill and Roman as well. They were completely understanding of the situation, which I'm very thankful for. No matter how much experience you have, changing jobs, it's always a little scary. And you want to make a good first impression. And I really appreciated that my colleagues told me I did, even though my plans changed at the end of the week. It's a really good and affirming culture. And like I said, it makes me feel right at home. So I am very much looking forward to next week, going to finish my blog post, going to work on a video, and a couple of other things that you'll see in the future. So I'm very excited. Until next time.